All right, so here's a fun fact. We're going to record this video again, which is great because there were all kinds of terrible interruptions in the last one. So hopefully there will be less interruptions, but we're not really sure. Anyway, so let's go to the beginning, which is great because I made some mistakes that I got to fix. Maybe it won't be less interruptions. Anyway, so it's a lunar cast. This video is being recorded late, which is why there's so many weird noises in the background. My bad. I meant to put this on Sunday. So not only is it being recorded late, it's also being posted late. So that's a thing. But on the lunar cast, we like to talk about the moon. Okay, so we're gonna hope that the background noise isn't too much. Okay, so let's try this. Yes, but on a lunar cast, I like to talk about. Here, let's do this. Whoa, that's better. Ooh, now we look like we're on the same axis. Whatever. I like to talk about the moon, the sun, and then the numerological energy of the day, and then kind of tie it all together with some suggestions for what I'm doing, which usually is nothing, I gotta be honest with you. And because this is late, I probably don't have much in the way of suggestions. But that's okay. That's okay. That's fine. Whatevs. We're gonna go with it. So, when we look at the moon is traditionally looked at as feminine if you want to look at it from that perspective, but it relates to our feelings of nurturing, being nurtured, caregiving. Often can relate to a mother-child relationship or any relationship that mimic ones where someone is in the care of you or you are in the care of someone else, but also your emotions, how you feel, feelings of stability and security and home. So when we look at the full moon, though, we're looking at kind of an audit, at taking stock of what is letting go of what doesn't work anymore, what we don't want, what we don't like, what doesn't serve us anymore. And usually from an emotional context, but really, you could apply it just in general as well. So on Sunday the 13th, the moon was in Aries, which means this is the energy of the self, the ego, me. I like to refer to Aries kind of as the baby of the zodiac, basically. So it's very self-concerned, and it's also very concerned about the here and now. It's not nostalgic, which is a kind of a normal thing for the moon. So there can kind of be this maybe vague agitation to this pairing, because the moon likes to brood and likes to think on things, and that is not the here and now. That is not keeping present in what is going on. And so I would say that this can be kind of a not super comfortable place. Especially with it being a full moon, because really what that comes down to is you having to kind of look at yourself under a microscope and consider, are the ways that you're being, acting, feeling, seeing, are they working for you? Are they not working for you? And if they're not working for you, that means you have to make a different choice. And sometimes with that choice can come these feelings of inadequacy, or of thinking you've done the wrong thing, or, maybe feeling guilty or being agitated. But really what I would encourage you to is that, everything has its own time and place, and sometimes things are helpful and sometimes they are not helpful. And sometimes something is helpful for a while and it stops being helpful. And then it's a better idea for you to go in a different direction or try something new. And it's all information, it's all data, and you can always make a different choice. So there's that. But you could also look at this. This can be a very energized and very kind of get up and go, and there can be very restless to kind of make this stuff happen. So what I would encourage is making sure that you do kind of take the time to think before implementing this action. because, you know, when we act from feelings of passion or spur in the moment or without much thought, you know, that can kind of cause us to fizzle out and maybe overextend ourselves and like explode emotionally, when if we had just thought about it, we could have handled it a little differently. So that would be my one caution for the day, I guess. And if you want a kind of more, I really need a stand that'll hold this in such a way that I don't have to hold it. And I've seen the kind of stand I want, and I don't know if it will work with my phone. It might. There's like buttons on the sides. Anyway, things to put on my Amazon wish list. Yeah. Anyway. So, what was I saying? Oh, if you want a more cohesive kind of framework, make sure you scroll below. I've got all sorts of more details in the post. And remember that during the month of October, all of these posts that are normally patron only on Patreon are going to be all public on YouTube. So if you're seeing it here, you can see all the stuff there. And I am trying to remember to link to the post on Patreon from the post on YouTube. I think that's right. That's right. So that you can see this. Also, this is going to be the first post that is on my other channel, I think, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, because I wanted to put all of the Sabbath casts and the lunar casts and the Celtic casts on my other channel. So this'll be interesting. But I'll still link to my Patreon because the Patreon is kind of an umbrella thing. Like my walnut. My brain just stopped. Yeah, for those of you who are new to this channel, been dissociating a lot, which means I just lose where I am. And sometimes it takes me a while to get back. Sometimes I don't get back at all. Yeah, no, it's gone. Okay, well, we're just gonna move right along then. Yeah. I don't even know where I was in my outline. It's a good thing. You know, this outline is probably the only thing that keeps me from just wandering off entirely. So, yeah. No, I got lost again. Damn it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, if you want cohesive, non-thought gaps, you should totally scroll below. Now, when we look at the sun, wherever the full moon is, the sun is in the opposite sign, because that's how astronomy works. And with the moon in Aries, that means the sun is in Libra. So that brings up the energy of taking a close look about the company that you keep and your surroundings, the kind of conversations you're having, and, you know, the things of that nature, which are all very Libra, among other things. But, you know, because today is really about the moon, I want to focus there. And it's just kind of a, oh, by the way, with the sun. Honestly, though. So the final way that I like to look at the day is looking at it from a numerological perspective. So when you look at the day numerologically, you look at 3 numbers. I did a video before this, failed. I'm not going to put it up, but I'm just going to laugh about this because I talked about it in the video. And it's not going to make any sense to you. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. If I can, I might put up a blooper reel. I don't know. If I can figure out how to do it, I'll have to. I have a video editing thing, and I haven't done a lot with it, but I would have to like splice out certain parts, and I don't know how to do that. It also means I would have to go and watch the video, which I don't really want to do. So there's that. Okay, so we gotta try and wrap this up. Usually I let these videos be longer, and my other one was like, it was about 20 minutes long before it just got like, okay, this is not sustainable, we gotta stop. There are a lot of weird sounds and extra things, and if you continue to watch my videos, that's like a thing. Such a thing. Anyway, yeah, so we look at it from 3 different perspectives, which are 3 different layers. So you've got the attitude number, the birthday number, and then the life path number. And anybody who was born in this day, those would be their personal numbers for those placements. And I'm trying to look at this in a way when, in a perspective of looking at the energy, like we look at the energy for the moon and the sun and the other things, across a broader spectrum of how anybody can access and apply this. So yeah, there's that. The attitude number speaks to the strengths and weaknesses that will belie problems. So everything has got a good and bad to it, and really out of context, most things are kind of gray, honestly, right? So things can be helpful and are not helpful given the type of situation and exactly what's going on and on all the other variables. And so a lot of this stuff, it's neither this nor that, because nothing's in a vacuum, right? So the first number of the day is 5, and 5 gets a bad rap. 5 is, you can think of volcanoes, right? Explosive, change, risks, exploration. It's also to a degree innovation. You're going off in this like really new, holy crap kind of way. And that can be really fun, really exciting, and freaking terrifying as well. So that's the thing. Now, the problems that you can get from 5 being out of hand or, being too much is things being out of hand, things being out of control. It's too much to handle. Things literally blow up in your face. And you could try to reach too far, go too fast, or grow in a way that's not sustainable, right? Now, the birthday number is the next number we look at, and that number talks about the talents, what you bring forth through this day that can help you deal with it. And that is 4. So 4 is, it's funny, the numbers move in this kind of juxtapositioned way. So 1 is the self, and 2 is a couple or you and another person. So it's a degree of intimacy. 3 is a group. So it goes, from being private to public. 4 is very, self-contained and very modest. 5 is very out there. And so 4 is structure. It is stability. It is foundation. And when you have a home base, when you have a platform from which you are reaching, when you have a safety net, if you will, taking risks is a lot less risky than if you're just walking off the side of the cliff, a la the Fool in the tarot. So that can be really important. You can give yourself a little bit of a safety net. You can, even if you can't think of a plan A, B, C, D, and E, which, there's a point at which that is just excessive, really. And if you spend too much time planning, you won't take any action. So you have to make a plan, maybe make a backup plan. Keep really good notes, right? And then go and do the thing. And then you'll have a point of reference. You'll have a way to decide whether you should continue in this fashion or not, or what works or what doesn't. And then you will have kind of prepared yourself, but you will also have implemented your plan, because a plan unimplemented is like useless, like to you anyway. It might be helpful to somebody else if they find it. So there's that. And the last number for the day is the life path. This is the overarching energy of the day. So 8 is about power, it's luxury, it's success. It also speaks to what we've achieved, what we've gotten done. And so the energy speaks to you paying attention to what you've made happen thus far. It's really easy when we start picking things apart to overlook the accomplishments we've made, and nitpick decisions and the process. But unless you've been sitting there twiddling your thumbs, literally doing nothing, some stuff has happened, some change has happened, and as a result, you've got something that you can say for the actions you've taken or not taken or whatever. Oh my gosh, my nose itches. Of course it does. Of course it does. I'm not like trying to do a video or anything. Let's see. Scroll. So, some thoughts on how it all comes together. When we look at the full moon in Aries and the attitude number, I can see those energies come together really well. There's a time and place for caution, for, looking at things and considering things and maybe taking a step back and pausing, which is now. But then you also get to a point where you can burn out and go too far and go too fast. And that can cause you to end up just fizzling out and running out of energy. So stability and acknowledgement of what you've done, where you are, who you are, what you've accomplished, what has worked, what hasn't worked, goes a long way to helping you make the shifts that you need to make. So, if you approach this from kind of a scientific perspective, when you do any kind of experiments, you have a set variable that you're testing, right? If you want to do this the good old-fashioned way, you don't change multiple variables. You don't have multiple variables that you are testing at one time, because just like science, just like math, there's no way for you to know what is what worked and what didn't, what contributed to what and what didn't. So it's really important that you take stock of what's actually going on and you pay attention, which is part of that whole planning and consideration and acknowledgement. So hope that was helpful to you. This for me. I didn't do anything on Sunday. Jack and shit, basically. Generally speaking, I take the days off when it's a lunar cast, a Sabbath cast, or a Celtic cast, because those are holidays for me. Whether I actually take the day off and relax is another thing. I might just work less, not work as hard, be really unfocused when I try to work. So there's that. My question for you, though, is what did you do to celebrate this energy? Did you do anything related to the moon or the sun's energy or any of the numbers on Sunday? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. You can remember also that for the duration of October, again, all the videos on my Patreon are going to be public. This is one of them. So I will link from this post to Patreon from YouTube. And you'll be able to comment there, comment here, whatever you want to do. And as always, if you like this, if you appreciate this video, share my channel, share my Patreon with your people, with somebody who will appreciate this. You can also find all of my social media links from both of my websites and all the social media I'm active on: Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will be dropping it on Monday and Tuesday late. This is late too. It's all late. Those posts are going to be over on my other channel, so I'll link that below too, so you can get over there. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here, watching this video, and I will see you on whichever's next. Let's see. I feel like I don't know what's next. I think it's another lunar cast is what's next.